Hi there, good morning to you. You're welcome to our Branch Time News here on GHOne TV. I am Mohammed. Coming up within the next 60 minutes, the Tamale High Court has ordered a rerun of the Bandai parliamentary election in 30 days. Meanwhile, the MP Matthew Nyindam files appeal and stay of execution against the Tamale High Court. Soldier caught physically abusing pharmacy attendant and female customer granted 70,000 cedis bail. On the labor front, CTAC declares indefinite strike over unpaid compensations. We have more on this shortly. In business, U.S. reverses 15% tariff on cocoa and other crops from Ghana. What does this mean for the sector? We find out shortly. We have details of these and many others all in this 60 minutes belt. Stay with me. Once again, my name is Mohammed. The Tamale High Court has ordered a rerun of the Bandai parliamentary election, directing that a fresh poll be held within 30 days from today. The decision, delivered by the Lordship Emmanuel Brew Plange, follows a legal challenge to the results of the 2024 parliamentary election in that constituency. The petition alleged irregularities in the voting and collation processes that undermine the credibility of the outcome. The NP and NDC parliamentary candidate for Bandai, Daniel Nsala Wakbal, filed the suit challenging the election of Matthew Nyindam as MP. According to Wakbal, the parliamentary election held in the Bandai constituency on December 7 was invalid. He argued that there were irregularities and inconsistencies in Form 8A, Regulation 32.7 and 39.2, Statement of Polls for the Office of Member of Parliament, pink sheet for 41 polling stations out of the 152 polling stations in that constituency. Let's now engage Rashid Tanko Computer. He is a Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Mr. Tanko, thank you very much. Good morning to you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi. Good morning.
Please, the line is very bad. I can hardly hear anything.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay, we would reconnect the phone lines and reach Rashid Tanko.
Hello?
Yes. Hi. Mr. Tanko, thank you very much. Good morning. I hope you can hear me this time around.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Your initial reaction to this decision by the High Court on the rerun of Bandai?
Well, we are grateful to the court for having delivered justice for the good people of Bandai. All along, we knew very well that the NPP rigged the election in collaboration with crooked electoral officers. And so we are not surprised with the verdict at all. We are happy with the verdict, and then we'll prepare ourselves adequately for the election, by-election.
Many are saying that the NDC is overreaching in terms of judicial independence. You are using your numbers to bulldoze your way.
This one has nothing to do with numbers in the APAS. The Parliament did not ask them to remove the gentleman from. It's the judiciary. The judiciary are doing their work.
Not numbers in terms of Parliament, in terms of the overwhelming when you have, as we speak.
Well, you see, when we are doing parliamentary elections or parliamentary democracy, as what we are practicing currently, it is the choice of the people which matters. It is not about numbers, it's a choice. If the people decided that, look, this is the person we want to represent us, and then some crooked officers will connect with our opponents to steal the verdict, what do you expect? The judiciary will stand in for the vulnerable, and that's why the judiciary stood in and stopped that kind of misrepresentation. And so this one there, you can't begrudge them. The judiciary is the bulwark for our democracy, and that is what they are doing. They protect the vulnerable. And we were not in power when we conducted the election. We were not in power. They conducted the election, used their power, and rigged the election. But the judiciary, you can't do this before the judiciary. They will look at the facts as presented from both defense and then the applicant. And then it was ruled. And so for this one, I don't know why our opponents will want to come from that direction. It's an election petition. And the process, we went through the process. We've been following this since December. We've been following this since December last year, up to now. And now we got a verdict today. So why people, somebody will say numbers, we have used our numbers and all that to do what we are doing. No.
Is this the only parliamentary seats that you have issues regarding? Are you going to pursue others?
I've been saying it time and again that there are a lot of seats that we are watching closely. Because most of the seats, they didn't win. We have election petition against them. This is just one of them.
Okay.
The others are there. The courts are still looking at them.
Okay.
And so we have others that we are following. We are following them one after the other. The people made a verdict. They voted for some particular people on party tickets. Yet MPP, knowing who they are, rigged the election and got themselves to this number of 88. Fortunately, we were able to take back one from them. And then we are going to take this one back again. Because these are our seats. We won them in the 2024 election. So we are just getting back our seats.
Kindly hold on for me. Let me engage the Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ayagba. Mr. Ayagba, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you. Hello, Richard. Okay, let's engage a constitutional lawyer, Justice Abdullahi. Mr. Abdullahi, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you, Counsel.
Good morning, Lily.
It's good to have you. Let me take your initial reaction, then we look at what this means, whether or not the appeal will stay, whether or not, even if the execution is thrown out, the Electoral Commission can still go ahead pending the appeal.
Well, so first off, I think I never saw this coming. I have to be honest. It came as a complete shock to me. I genuinely thought that after a year, I mean, looking at all the plans we put in place particularly from 2012 to handle election petitions, I didn't expect that there would still be in existence as of today election petition, particularly in relation to the parliamentary seats. I was hoping that within 3 months or thereabout of filing of election petitions, we should be able to make a decision and move on. And I say this because for those who parliamentary watchers would remember that somewhere in the year 2000, when George Amon, the then also West Wagon parliamentary seat was challenged, I believe it is 2000 or thereabout, or 96. What we noticed was that the wrong MP, I say wrong MP because the MP that lost the election petition in court, served the entire term of 4 years in office before the verdict was given in court, by which time the wrong MP had already fully served the office of the office of the MP in the Iowa West Wagon, had taken all the glory, taken all the entitlements and everything else. And the one that actually was declared a winner by the court never had an opportunity to even step in the parliament, in fact, in parliament, even for a day. So, I mean, these things had informed us as to how to proceed with our lives going forward with regards to election petitions and all of that. So based on that, genuinely, I thought that within maximum 6 months, we should be done with election petitions and move on as a country. But if you have to wait for close to a year before a verdict of this kind comes out, it is worrying. And let's remember that there is also a right of appeal to the loser, and that could take us yet further a month if you are not luckier. If it takes about a year to complete this exercise, literally it would mean that whoever emerges victorious at the end of the day would have had half of his tenure completely wiped out by the wrong person. That cannot serve the interest of our democracy. There should be a better way of dealing with these matters.
Now, Matthew Ngindam has filed a stay of execution. Under our constitutional structure, must it put to hold the rerun order, or they can still go ahead and make preparations for the rerun?
Ordinarily, a stay of execution or an injunction, depending on whichever person intends, but in particular, this case, as far as stay of execution, both ways ordinarily against public office would not hold. Ordinarily, it's almost impossible. Except in this particular case, there is a genuine case of a person serving as a member of parliament as against the interest of the state. So in this particular case, the interest of the state is really balanced, such that there is a higher probability of the stay being granted, to the extent that granting it or refusing it could go against the state itself.
Okay.
And so it is not the ordinary case of a bystander like me filing a stay of execution against the state in respect of a particular matter. In those cases, chances are that it will be refused. But in this particular case, this is a serving member of parliament whose seat has been declared invalidly awarded him, if you like. And so chances are that he has a better chance of winning the stay of execution than not.
On that score, hold on for me. Let me engage Rashid Tanko on the stay of execution. Rashid, this appears that it's going to be a long haul on the back of the stay of execution and then the appeal.
Yes, it's much ado about nothing. They are wasting their time. We are preparing for the by-election, I can assure you. There's nothing for them to stay on the matter. In any case, the trial judge, I was in court. The trial judge made the ruling and asked that we can come for the reasoning behind it on Friday. You have not even seen the reasoning. You are asking for stay of execution. What are you saying? Look, we will all look at it. And they know, they themselves, before even the matter was ruled, they knew very well that they had to rig the election. Ask them, where is their Form 1C? How was the election collated? They don't have it. Even the electoral officer who declared the results, when he was put on the audition, the docket, cross-examined on his own videos that he brought. He was denying knowledge of some of the things there. They themselves, they knew. They knew that this matter was a bad case for them. And when they are doing public gimmick, this is a public propaganda where they say we are doing state of execution, they were thrown out. Because there's no veracity in whatever they are coming there to do. Election is about process. And if you don't follow through the due process and get yourself declared, this is how you will be humiliated. They thought they were going to win the presidential election so that they will perpetuate this illegality on the good people. That's what they did in 2020.
Okay.
And so they were trying to do that one again this time around. But we stood our grounds. We are not going to allow this. You can't be stealing people's verdict left and right like that.
Okay. Rashid, we'll find out what the court says regarding the stay of execution and then the appeal. Thank you very much.
Lily,
That's it, Deputy. Yes.
Let me just point out that now we should remember that even if they lose the stay of execution, I can guarantee you that there's no way we can have an election in a month's time, because filing of stay of execution and the time that both sides would respond to that, and then finally a determination is made of it, chances are that would have passed this 1 month period. Now, the last thing I need to point out on this is that the state of execution is not the only route available to the loser. And so chances are that we are not likely to have the election, at least not this year. Not this year. If you like, maybe you can begin to think of maybe the first quarter of next year.
On that score, Justice, under Article 99, Clause 2, does Matthew Nyindam still hold himself as a member of Parliament, as in Parliament can count him in their numbers until all appeals are exhausted?
Not all appeals are exhausted until the process is exhausted. The process here would include all the stays, the injunctions that are being dealt with. Until those ones are determined, executing the orders of the court to the letter will be almost impossible. I mean, there are difficulties along the way. And those hurdles would have to be surmounted before he can effectively be removed from office, or an order is placed on him not to hold himself out as a member of Parliament for that office. Until these processes are gone through, remember, the execution would include serving the Speaker and serving the Electoral Commission. Now, all these ones can be thwarted by the applications that the loser is filing. And so we need to be careful. I mean, celebrating this. I think it's too early to celebrate this.
Okay, thank you. But now I think Tanko is on. Tanko, you heard the lawyer. He says it's too early days yet to celebrate. And you mentioned that you are preparing for a by-election. He says it's not just a simple walk in the park. Okay, unfortunately, I lost Tanko there. But thank you very much, Justice. That's Justice Abdullahi. He is a constitutional lawyer. Let's find out what your thoughts are on this on social media. Interestingly, before I came on, I saw some comments. Someone said, Akanine pet. Well, Nanama, what are people saying?
Well, they have a lot to say. We look at our post here. Bernard says, let me confess, I'm the one doing NPP. You also have Joseph who says NPP is the real Hisense. Yatitisu say, who? Then we have Samuel who says press conference loading. On this note, it is finished. Bring your calculators now. First, 88 minus 1 equals 87. Now, if 87 happens to be minus 1, then it's 87 minus 1, which is 86. The name now will be Mini Micro Minority. We have Champion Selassie. Why are you day? Hector says Christmas bonus for NDC. Solomon says the same judges that you left are the same judges who are still working. Raymond says someone should go and console Afenyo Markin. We have Lawrence. If the law catch you for one place, that be your law. Aram says you go explain Taya. We also have Nana Apia Kubi. The tables will turn one day. Papa says fear and fear grip on him. Babatunde says hashtag by-election 2025 loading 38%. Mariam Yakubu says, ha ha ha, he is really scared of losing the seat. We have Edem who says he will be heard in the next 2 years. Powerman says, oh, my dear NDC, let's forgive them this one. We have Mohammed 86 looming. Abdul who says democracy. Then we have Bosta who says, hey, then we'll move from micro-minority to pin minority. We also have Emmanuel. If you really won, don't be afraid of anything. Go and win it again. Maybe someone may change their minds as they go back. We have Richard who says all stolen seats will be reclaimed before 2028. Prosper says the future is indeed pregnant. Cujo Raphael says it will be thrown or booted out. We also have Lemdi, it is finished, minority in kitty. Then we have Kelvin who says that was fast. Then Cujo says per the logic of minority, this MP is supposed not to be sworn into Parliament because the case is in court. We have Ahmed who said it's not funny anymore. NDC want to reduce MPP to a minute group. And our last comment here says concert. Well, things are just getting interesting. Let's see what happens. My name is Nanama Aqualili. Back over to you.
Thank you very much. Interesting one there. But let's move on and do other stories. Former Commissioner General of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Colonel Kwadwo Damwa, has expressed patience and readiness to face charges alongside Ken Ofri-Atta and others The case involving alleged corruption and procurement breaches related to the Strategic Mobilization Limited, the SML scandal, was adjourned to a later date. The Member of Parliament for German South, Colonel Damwa, who appeared in court on Monday, where he was expected to be arraigned, stated that he and his lawyers are awaiting the new court date, emphasizing their availability and cooperation with the judicial process. On Monday, November 24, Colonel Damwa and his lawyers, led by Bob Senyala, appeared at the law court complex in Accra ahead of the arraignment. However, upon reaching the premises, they were informed that the case had been rescheduled. The Office of the Special Prosecutor had formally charged former Minister for Finance Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offences connected to the controversial revenue assurance contracts awarded to Strategic Mobilization Limited. Colonel Damwa, who is a sit-accused person, spoke to EIB's network legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa.
We came to court. We were just about to enter the courtroom when I had a call. And to my surprise, an officer of the Office of the Special Prosecutor informed me that the case is not coming on today. I inquired why. He didn't give me any reason, but just told me that we'll be informed of the next date. So, in the circumstances, we only have to wait to know the next date. As far as we are there, we know we have no problem. We are not having any serious issues.
Mutala Inusa is our legal affairs correspondent. Captain, thank you very much for joining me. What more can you add to this?
So, Lily, what it is that now Colonel Damwa and his lawyers, together with the other accused persons, who have to wait for the new date that they will be arraigned and they are respectively taken relation to the 78 counts. Remember earlier, the OSP posted on its social media account indicating that the case has been rescheduled. So when I made my way into the premises, I chanced on Colonel Damwa and his lawyers, and I have been engaging him as to what exactly his views are in relation to the current situation. And he makes the point that, yes, he has been arraigned. He wait patiently, appear before the court and see the charges that will be preferred against him. Per the charge sheet, we do know that he will be responding to charges together with the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, 5 other individuals and a company, all of them together making 8. They made an appearance, but what is clear is that he has to wait until later date to be informed about the next court date, for which reason he has to appear, respond to the charges that have been preferred against him. And clearly, if you look at the indication that I got, it points to the fact that, yes, it's an offense that they will be denying by way of pleading not guilty, but wouldn't want to run ahead of the court. But he has been engaging me. I've been speaking to him, and he said, for now, patience is required, and he will be ready to subject himself to the processes.
All right, Captain, thank you very much. We'll leave it here for now. That's our legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa. Now, information reaching GHOne also notes that Williams Mensah, the soldier caught on CCTV physically assaulting a pharmacy attendant and a female customer at a pharmacy near Birmingham, has been granted 70,000 cedis a bail with 2 sureties. The officer, who was seen in a viral video after the assault, was arrested at dawn on Thursday, October 30, 2025 by the Ghana Military Police. Let's bring you a soundbite. Now, the Eastern South Regional Police Command has arrested 26-year-old Nigerian fugitive Victor Benjamin Fahemiro Kun, who is suspected to have abducted and murdered a woman and her daughter in Nigeria before escaping to Ghana to evade arrest. The suspect was picked up at GHOne near Akwetia after police intelligence indicated that he had fled to Ghana and was being sheltered by friends in the community. His arrest follows the circulation of a viral video in Nigeria alleging that he had abducted and killed a female officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps and her daughter at Abeokuta, Ogun State. He reportedly transported the victims to Osun State before tragically killing them. Addressing the media at a press briefing on Sunday in Kibi, the Eastern South Regional Police Commander DCOP Ohinebwedi Bosman said the command swiftly launched an intelligence-led operation upon receiving information about the suspect's hideout.
The Eastern South Regional Police Command, on receipt of the information that the suspect was hiding in his friend's house at Akwetia, quickly deployed an intelligence-led operations to arrest the suspect in his hideout at GHOne in the Eastern region. The suspect is currently in police custody as frantic efforts are underway to hand him over to the Nigerian authorities. Further updates will be communicated, please. On this note, we are entreating the public as a matter of urgency to inform the police about any suspicious movement of any person or group of persons in their communities to prevent crime. We assure the public of sustained operations to deal with any criminal activities in the jurisdiction. If you say we are going to protect you, we are not going to sit in our rooms, our comfort rooms to protect you. We have intensified our patrols. We have also intensified our intelligence operations from the PIDs and the CIDs, who they are doing, and a lot of arrests, including that of what happened at Akwabe, Akwabe issue, and other places. We have done all because of the intelligence-led operation that we are doing and the seriousness that we put in these our operations. We are always successful in doing that.
Now, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has declared an indefinite strike beginning today over the government's failure to fully implement the National Labour Commission's arbitral award issued on 2nd May 2023. Decision taken by CTAG's National Executive Committee, NEC, in consultation with the National Council, comes after repeated warnings, including a press release on 27th October 2025, went unheeded. In a statement, CTAG emphasized that the NLC arbitrary award is legally binding, and the government's failure to implement it constitutes a breach of labor law and collective bargaining principles. Now, the Wa Technical Institute in the Upper West region of Ghana has been temporarily shut down after a violent student riot broke out on Wednesday, November 19. The incident, which stemmed from the seizure of an iPhone 13 by the school's cadet commander, escalated when the affected student enlisted outsiders to retrieve the device, leading to widespread chaos on campus. The unrest unfolded during prep time as students were returning from classes, resulting in significant damage to school property, including the administration offices and several school buses. Fortunately, no injuries were reported during the disturbance. Classes are scheduled to resume on Sunday, November 30 at 5 p.m. The closure was approved by Dr. Clement Apak, Deputy Education Minister, in consultation with the Regional Commander of Police. A committee has been set up to probe the root cause of the riot and pinpoint those responsible. The Ministry of Education has stressed that such acts of indiscipline will not be tolerated and perpetrators will be held accountable under the full weight of the law. Thank you very much for joining me. Good afternoon to you. What more can you tell us at this time? How far with investigations do we know?
Yes, good afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers across the country. And it has been a very hectic day for the administrators of WA Technical Institute and the security services here in the Upper West region. As the past couple of days, we have been confronted with something that is not exciting news to report. But as we've already taken our viewers through what has happened on Wednesday, that was the 19th of November 2025, as about 10 p.m. going to 11 p.m. after preps, chaos broke out on campus where a lot of properties were destroyed, which includes school properties and some properties that belong to some of the teachers or tutors of that particular institution. Investigation is still on as the Ghana Police Service are on manhunt to arrest some of these persons that might have been involved in these crimes that we are reporting this morning. I beg your pardon.
Okay. Besides the Technical Institute, any issue happening in WA?
The WA municipality have been serene in the past couple of days. Beyond these disturbances that we know of, there's nothing challenging or peculiar to report in terms of crime and other activities. The only issue that I can talk of is the WA Municipal Assembly also taking some persons to court for violating the sanitation rules that we all are expected to follow.
Do we have Ayete Choga?
Hello, can you speak up again?
No, go ahead.
Yes, I'm talking about, you talked about the situation in WA, and I'm reporting to you that there are some few issues of some violations when it comes to open defecation and improper disposal of waste, that the assembly are picking one or two persons to court. And that is the only issue that we have in town at the moment. But the biggest trending issue has to do with the WA Technical Institute disturbances, which the school was shut down for a week. The students are expected to report back to school on Sunday for much more investigations to be done. According to the principal of the school, Mr. Saka Adams, what he has been saying is that most of the students of the school felt the environment they are in at the moment is not safe enough for them, because they were fearing that the persons that have come on campus to commit those crimes might be coming back again, whilst no arrests have been made. So they've been calling on the authorities to ensure that these persons are brought to book, to ensure that when they come back to campus, they will not be fearing that they will have another attack. But as you rightly kept it occurred because the student body resisted some form of control that they think was not right coming from the school cadet corps. What we're also picking from the student body is that the cadets have been trying to enforce some code of conduct on them, which they think is not proper. A phone was seized. That happens to be an iPhone 13. And when the phone was seized, they called on the cadet commander to release the phone back to the student, and that was not happening. The students a bit took the issue into their own hands, called some hooligans from town who came into the campus, and that resulted into the unfortunate incident that we are reporting. A lot of cars were damaged, and according to the school authorities, they cannot tell exactly in monetary terms how much have been lost or how much have been lost to that disturbances. They are still waiting for experts to value these cars and look at the damages that have occurred so that we can have an absolute cost on what have occurred at Wild Technical Institute. So for the cost of the damages for now, the school authorities have not been able to speak properly to that, citing that they will need an audit before they can speak to the actual cost of damages that have been recorded on campus.
Adil, thank you very much. That's our West Regional correspondent, Adil Supremo there. Let's engage an educationist, Charles Ahetochega. Mr. Chega, thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you too.
It's good to have you. This is not the first time. I mean, even in the year, we've spoken a number of times about this particular indiscipline in our schools. Why are we failing to curb it?
Very much. I think it is like a human institution, and somebody says that the poor will always be with us, and so we will still be having pockets of indiscipline in our schools. But I think the important thing is how we manage that indiscipline. And I think that has been the problem which has eventually resulted in what was described as the unrest that happened in the school. There is a little breakdown of understanding as to why it is important that students must obey specific instructions. And we think that it is the kind of education that we need to continue to let the students understand that when schools give instructions to be obeyed, they must be obeyed. And this whole practice of bringing people from town also now heightens another level of the problem of security in our schools. Because most of our schools have very serious challenges when it comes to security. And again, if the security was strong, some of these boys would not have been able to come into the school, and then we will probably are incurring the kind of expenditure or expenses that have taken place now as a result of damages. So those are the different dimensions of this challenge. And it's for now we can say it's very unfortunate, but I think that there should be more stronger efforts to ensure that our students have acquired values that would let them continue to be very obedient children and grow as good adults.
Many say indiscipline is on the rise because we took away capital punishment in our schools.
I've said time and again that, you see, if we continue to do wrong things over a long period of time and it becomes practice, we tend to think that it is good. It is not. Okay. And again, if we still go back to referring to, this has happened before because we remove corporal punishment, then we are behaving like people who only have one track mind. We can't even sit down as a people to devise different ways of instilling discipline in our children. And that is very, very unfortunate. And so I say that, no, forget about corporal punishment. Forget about corporal punishment. Look at other means that would ensure that you can help the children to become disciplined. And it might not really be an issue of corporal punishment. So that is not the case at all. And I would never want to look at it from that dimension. And I hope that everybody will start talking about that so that we can begin to open our minds to different things that we can do to help our children to become good adults.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Chega. That's Charles Chega. He is an educationist. So let's bring you more stories after this break. Back from that break, my name is Lily Mohammed. Now, the United States has rescinded its decision to impose a 15% tariff on Ghana's cocoa and selected agricultural products. That's coming up in business.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has confirmed that the U.S. administration has officially notified the government of Ghana of the reversal of former President Trump's President Trump's directive. According to the minister, Ghana exports an average of 78,000 metric tons of cocoa beans to the U.S. annually, with the current spot price at $5,300 per metric ton. The removal of the tariff is expected to generate an additional $60 million revenue for Ghana each year.
Initially was slapped with 10% tariffs, which went up to 15%. And that has been what has persisted until a new executive order, which we are delighted to welcome. President Trump has decided that Ghanaian cocoa and Ghanaian qualifying agricultural products, including plantains, guava, maize, various peppers, tomatoes, avocados, ginger, all of those agricultural products will now no longer be required to be exported with that 15% tariff. So the 15% tariff has been reversed. It is now 0% on Ghanaian cocoa, and it is not only on the cocoa beans, but also on semi-processed cocoa. This development is really positive. It is welcome news for our farmers and agricultural exporters. What this means is that in the cocoa sector alone, if you look at current numbers, we will be raising an additional $60 million. And then if you also consider the other agricultural products, you are talking about almost $100 million. So the conservative estimates we have done, this will raise additional about $150 million for our revenues and a boost for our economy. This development is so timely because remember that our farmers have had a glut. Production has been very good this farming season, and they have been complaining about the lack of market and the lack of buyers. Now, with this new development, you can expect that exporters can move in quickly and then export these products to the United States of America.
Let's engage the president of the Ghana National Association of Cocoa Farmers, Stephen Anane Boateng. Mr. Boateng, thank you very much for joining us. This is good news, right?
Hello.
Mr. Anane Boateng, good afternoon to you.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Good. All right.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I am asking, good news, no?
No, that's well, it's good news for the nation. The good news for the nation. It's good. Trump has, come out with this kind of reduction on sales cocoa tax tariff. It's a very good news, and the country, if the country make money, it's good for us. Yes, it's good. It's good. It's really good.
How do you expect the government of Ghana to ensure that you benefit mutually?
Well, it's up to the government to decide because this reduction can actually raise the taxation a little higher, and then we also get something because at the end of the day, I know the the businessmen will rush and come for the product and then export it to US. And the price is very good because most of our cocoa, it's about 40% only go to US. So if it is like that, then of course, I hope the businessmen will rush and export cocoa to USA. But to us, the benefit to us will depend upon the government because this is more of the taxes which have been done. So the government, we trust him that now the way he's managing the cocoa sector will be better. And if it isn't, at least we cocoa farmers will also enjoy because at the end of the day, what he's trying to put in and the strategies he has put there will be more to our comfort and it will be suitable to us. So we say it's good and the government should also look at the way they can also, structure things to benefit we cocoa farmers.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Anibwating. That's Stephen Anibwating. He's the Ghana National Association. He's president of the Ghana National Association of Cocoa Farmers. Now, local poultry farmers are lamenting a takeover of the industry by Chinese investors, posing a serious danger to their survival. According to the local producers, this has led to a severe egg glut, as the market has become almost unavailable due to unjustifiable competition from their Chinese counterparts. The farmers fear that if no immediate remedies put in place by the government to salvage the situation, the local poultry industry will collapse, as many farmers are yet to sell off all their eggs currently on their farms. They further warn of imminent job losses as they intend to lay off workers owing to no income to pay salaries. Joining us for our conversation is the chairman of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Ntim Dodu. Thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are blaming Chinese investors for your egg glut, seeming egg glut. What are they doing different than your poultry farmers? Mr. Ntim.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I was asking, you are blaming Chinese investors for what you say is a semen or a looming egg glut. What are they doing different that you are not? That should do for the Business Brief. Up next is the latest update in sports.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
And you're welcome to sports, where the Black Queens head coach came last as announced a 24-player squad for the upcoming friendly game again. The squad combines experienced players with emerging talents, including the return of Anastasia, a child to bolster the defense, and a debut call for Benedict Simon, of Servette Genève FC. Regulars such as Captain Posha Boache, Evelyn Bedudarisa Buadua, and Chantel Boyhloka are also included in the Ghana squad. Ghana take on England on December 2 at the St. Mary's Stadium in Southampton, the UK. This match will mark the first time ever Black Queens are taking on a team like the England team in a friendly international. To the volleyball championship, and the Ghana Army men's volleyball team and Nigeria Custom team have been crowned winners of this year's Super Volleyball Championship at the Borteman Sports Complex. There is more of that in this report.
From a difficult opening loss to claiming the men's division championship with a commanding 3-1 victory over Ghana Police in the final. The week-long tournament began on a rough note for the 2025 GAVA League champions, who suffered a shocking 3-0 defeat to Ghana Air Force in their opening match, which recovered to advance to the finals. In the championship match against Ghana Police, it was Police who struck first, taking the opening set 25-18 with a strong serves and sharp attacks. But the Army team quickly settled into their rhythm and dominated the remaining sets 25-21, 25-19 and 25-19, closing out the match 3-1 to lift the 2025 men's title. In the women's draw, Nigeria Customs made light work of the Ghana Air Force team with a 3 straight sets to win to lift the crown. The Nigeria Customs female team breezed through the championship, defeating every team they faced. Ghana Army swept several top awards after the championship. Best Libero, Jemfi Owusu of Ghana Army. Best Setter, Daniel Benefo, Ghana Army, who was also named the most valuable player. Best Outside Hitter was Al-Hassan Imoro of the Ghana Army. Best Opposite was Yakubu Aminu of Ghana Army. Other winners included Best Server Abdul Ibrahim Ahmed from the Ghana Police Service, Best Coach Suleiman Olayinka of Nigeria Customs, Women's MVP and Player of the Championship, Kelechi Genevieve of Nigeria Customs. Discovery of the tournament of women, Florence Teria, Ghana Police Service. EIB Network picked up a special recognition award for its support to the championship.
And that's it for sports. Up next, though, is international news.
"50 of the 315 children kidnapped by gunmen from a Catholic school in Nigeria's Niger state on Friday have escaped. The Christian Association of Nigeria says they have been reunited with their families. A major military-led search and rescue operation is underway for the remaining 265 children and 12 teachers who were taken with them. Authorities in several Nigerian states ordered schools to shut following the mass abductions in Niger and another smaller hostage taken in Kebbi State on Monday when 25 pupils were kidnapped from a boarding school. In response to the spate of abduction, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has ordered the recruitment of an additional 30,000 police officers. That should do for the news. My name is Lily Mohammed. Thank you for watching. For more news updates, kindly log on to starfm.com.gh. Good afternoon.